So last time we were talking all about all sorts of trig identities, and then we were very happy because we finished homework 5. We were happy. Homework 6 is called Trig Identities Part 2. The nice thing about Trig Identities Part 2 is that all of these identities really just follow straight from the ones we had before. So like, should we let her in? She's always the biggest proponent of letting you in. Okay, so you go let her in, Austin. All right, so yes, we should tell her that. Open the door, Austin.
Angel.
Not Austin. Angel. Open the door, Angel.
He said it earlier and I didn't say it.
Okay.
Now you're saying say no.
Sorry, this is not the way to success.
I know. Overslept, then forgot to eat anything, then almost forgot to take my meds.
I told him that you gotta quit this like whole Austin being a bad influence on you thing.
Well, this morning it wasn't even that. It was just my alarm didn't go off like it's supposed to.
Now, see, that's always. I was once watching an episode of CSI or whatever, and they said it's like you never hear when people have a struggle. It's the screen went away. Let's try to get the screen back. You never hear them say, well, we struggled and then I accidentally shot him. It's always, we struggled and then the gun went off. So, anyway, I have no idea how that applies. It's just what I thought of.
I was like, is he going to connect it back sometime?
Well, it's like my alarm didn't go off. You could say, I forgot to set my alarm, but no, it's the alarm didn't go off.
I said it because I went and looked, and it said 7:30 a.m.
Or it could be that
Friday.
my alarm went off, but I slept through it or anything. But no, the alarm didn't go off. All right. Yeah. All right, so these are all from last homework.
I missed all that the whole time we were talking.
Apparently so. All right. So the ones we're going to do this week are all actually just special cases and ways to rewrite these. So it's, yeah, if you have the big list, great. If you don't, then I gave you all the big list, didn't I? Yeah, I gave you a handout with all these on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took that homework.
Okay. So the first case is double angle formulas. So, I mean, I could just say it's all on the list, but I want you to see that it really is all just these same formulas over and over again. So if I did sine of 2 theta, well, one way to get 2 theta is to go theta plus theta, right? So if I just plug into this guy up top with b and theta both the same, that's sine theta cosine theta plus cosine theta sine theta, which is 2 sine theta cosine theta. So that's where the double angle formula for sine comes from. It's just, put theta in both places, and there you go, right? Same thing if I put theta in both places on the cosine. Well, let me do the tangent first because the cosine's a little different. So if I do the same thing here, these are both the same. So I'll have 2 tangent theta. 1 minus, those are both the same. So tangent square root of theta. For cosine, well, this will be cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. So that's one version of this. But then anytime you see cosine squareds and sine squareds, what do you want to do in the fiber of your soul? Yeah, we want to change like one of them to the other one, right? So I can change sine theta to 1 minus cosine squared of theta. And then this will be cosine minus, and minus makes a plus. So I can rewrite this as 2 cosine squared theta and then minus 1. Or I can do the other way and go up here and change this to 1 minus sine squared theta. So I have 1 minus sine squared theta minus another sine squared theta. So I can also go 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. So all three of those are equal to cosine 2 theta. So that's where all the double angle formulas come from. It's just plugging theta into both slots of the formulas we had last week. And while I'm at it, let me go ahead and do the half angle formulas because they all come from this cosine 2 theta guy. So all these, I mean, a lot of times when you use them, the theta isn't just theta, it's like 2 theta or 4 theta or 17. Like, for example, if I wanted to know, I could say like cosine of 34 theta would be 2 cosine squared of 17 theta minus 1, right? Because all you're doing is just changing theta to 17 theta at both places. Okay, so that's what we're going to do to get the half angle formulas. So let me start with this one. So cosine 2 theta is 2 cosine squared theta minus 1. If I change theta into half theta, well, this will just become cosine theta. This is 2 cosine half of theta minus 1. And so if I get the half theta by itself, you have cosine half of theta. Oh, whoops, squared. Is, well, if I move this over, I have 1 plus, and then I need to divide by 2. So 1 plus cosine theta over 2. So cosine theta over 2 is square root. And like with any square roots, you're going to have to think about at the end whether it's plus or minus. So you can tell just because, like, you look at what quadrant theta over 2 is going to be in. So like if theta was 300 degrees, then theta over 2 is 150, which is in quadrant 2, so cosine should be negative or whatever. Okay. If you do the same thing with the sine one, so again, cosine 2 theta is also 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. You replace theta by half theta, get it by itself. And just skip to the end, you're going to get sine is the exact same thing except with a minus. 1 minus cosine theta over 2. And well, tangent is sine over cosine. So tangent theta over 2, well, it's plus or minus square root 1 minus cosine over 1 plus cosine. And if you kind of think back to the beginning of homework 5, when you see a 1 minus cosine on top and a 1 minus plus on bottom, you kind of want to rationalize the denominator, maybe the numerator or something. So if I multiply top and bottom by 1 plus cosine, this would be sine over 1 plus cosine, because the 1 minus cosine squared just turns into sine. And same thing, I could multiply the top and bottom both by 1 minus cosine, bless you. I'd have 1 minus cosine on top, 1 minus cosine squared on the bottom, so sine on the bottom. So that's 3 different ways of doing tangent. And the wonderful thing is, on those last 2, the signs actually work out right. So when you see the square root, you think, oh, maybe I should, am I going to have to do plus or minus on these 2? But it winds up, no, you don't. They work out automatically. So it's true. All right. So those are the double and half angle formulas. So let's start with that. And